I think the offense is at a high level right now. We're really progressing fast, and I like how we are progressing throughout fall camp. And I'm excited to see us get on the field under the lights and see how everybody reacts and show who's really ready for the season to go.
What's it like having Dylan back? I know that you obviously well documented. You guys had a good relationship in high school and all that stuff. But what's it like having him back?
It's awesome. I mean, really having that chemistry on the field, it's hard to really replicate that with a lot of the receivers. It just takes repetition, and just having a guy you've thrown to since you were a little kid, and he knows where you're going to be at, and he knows where you want him to be at. Really helps out a lot.
Pat, what have you seen from Devin Lauderdale?
I've seen a lot of maturity, a guy who really came in off a little bit of the suspension, just coming in ready to play and ready to prove why he should be here and what he has. And you saw it a little bit, I feel like, with Jakeem last year, a guy who was really out to prove something, and I'm seeing that in Devin Lauderdale this year.
Pat, what's the biggest difference for you between fall camp and game week and prep?
I mean, Coach Kingsbury is really good about kind of preparing us for the game week. Our last week of fall camp, the last few days, we had a simulated game week, so not a huge difference, but just having that extra emotion, that extra energy at practice will probably be a little bit different. And I'm really going to be focusing in on SFA and trying to really prepare myself for the game.
Coach was saying, no receiver necessarily really has a starting job locked up. He has everybody kind of as an alternate at their position. Have you noticed that competition, just working with those receivers, and how do you think that's benefited them?
It's definitely benefited a lot. Just having that competition every day. No guy really can come every day and just expect, well, I'm going to be starting. They have to come out, go 100% at every drill, and really try to earn their starting spot. And it's built great relationships. I feel like everybody's taking it well, and they're really cheering for each other, and you like to see that. And I mean, when you play in this offense, everybody's going to play. You're going to be too deep, at least in the receiver. So to see those guys really getting out there and competing is really going to help out the team.
There's been a lot of movement with the offensive line at camp. How do you feel like it's developed?
I feel like it's developed well. We've had some surprises with some guys that have really stepped up the competition level, and there's been a lot of movement, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty solid now, and we've kind of ran the same ones the last few days, and I'm expecting to really solidify it this Monday and have that offensive line for the rest of the week and the rest of the season, hopefully.
Who are some of the surprises you mentioned?
There's some guys that, there's kind of like a 6-7 man rotation. Paul Staywars has really stepped his game up of being a guy that I don't necessarily know he'll start for sure, but he's a guy that will be in the mix and has a chance to. And then some other guys with Madison Nakamanu really stepped up his game this fall camp, and Terrence Steele, of course, has just been a really dominant presence out there.
What difference do you feel like Coach Foster's made with the running backs this camp?
He's definitely helped out with a lot of confidence and a lot of swagger. There's a lot of guys that a few of them have played, but they haven't had that starting role, and I feel like those guys really, with Coach Foster, have earned that confidence that they expect to really go out there and kill it this season, and I'm excited to see them get on the field and play.
What would you like to improve on from a year ago?
For me, it's just stopping the bad plays, really just moving the chains, being more efficient, cutting the interceptions down, and really just being the best quarterback for the team and not just trying to make the big play at all times.
Is that something you've worked on in the offseason between last year and today?
Yes, of course, and I think just being fully at football, I've really worked on my pocket presence, and you will for sure be able to tell. I feel like with just stepping up in the pocket and making those throws, on making those 10-yard outs and stuff like that, instead of every single play running around. And there's sometimes you want to run around and make those big plays happen, but you need to know where the line is, and when you need to just throw a 5-yard completion and get the chains moving.
What's the key for you in recognizing those moments to when you can try to make those big plays, but not, I guess you don't try to tame that part down too much while still trying to be a little more in control?
It's really just going through my progressions, and I feel like last year there's sometimes you can tell before the play even started I was going to run, and I felt like I had it in my mind, and it just goes back to my high school days of really just trying to make a big play happen all the time. But just really going through my progressions, and when that isn't open, then running and making those big plays happen is where the line is.
Matt, I know this is only your second go around, at least as the opening day started, but what's just the biggest difference about the buzz in the air running through the smoke the first time you had to open the season, the jitters in the locker room before that separates the season opener from some of those games down the line?
It's very different. You really have to manage your emotions. Last year, I feel like I came out so energized at first. I kind of got tired the second quarter. So I feel like I've really learned from that and really managed that you don't need to be extremely energized 3 hours for the game when you're just getting down there to warm up. You just kind of manage it, and it'll build up. And when you run out that tunnel the first time, I mean, it's going to be loud and you're going to be energized, but just kind of taking it throughout the whole game.
It's a great honor. We have guys that work just as hard as I do, but the fact that, the team voted for me to be one of the people to represent them, I mean, it doesn't feel any greater than that.
Justis, what's kind of a scouting report on SFA's offense, and what has Coach Gibbs indicated how they are most likely to attack you?
Yeah, they're a team that spreads the ball out. They got coaches that have came from everywhere. I think one of the coaches even coached at Oregon for a little bit, so they have a wide variety of things. They like to run the ball too. And, Coach Gibbs, we're still working on the game plan and everything like that, but he's going to have a plan for us, and, it's just up to us to execute.
What's the biggest difference for you personally when you're talking about fall camp going into a game week?
Just how fast the game's going to come. I mean, you can practice, all you want out here, but there's nothing to simulate like it is out there on, Saturday night. So just picking up, the speed of the game, getting tired. Once you go 80 plays, you can't simulate that in practice either. So, just that mental toughness and just making sure you're executing every play.
Where do you think the biggest improvement's going to come from the defense this year?
I just think discipline-wise, that's the biggest improvement. Guys staying in gaps, guys being physical, tackling. That's something that, we're working on day in, day out. So I think those are the biggest improvements. Just, like I said, staying in gaps and coming up with a body part, making sure we don't let any big plays.
Having a guy like Jordan Brooks come in as a true freshman and get that start at Mike, just what's most impressed you about him through fall camp and how he's come along?
Yeah, he's been picking it up quick. He's a big guy. He's a physical guy, and that's what the coaches like about him. He's fast. He has all the talent that you need to play linebacker, whichever position he's at. So we're just looking for him to be athletic, make tackles, and just do his job. Not trying to do too much.